Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. If you want to start playing Raid Shadow Legends, if you want to create a new Raid Shadow Legends account, you really want to create it with a promotional link from a content creator. Because if you just download the game, you just start playing from scratch. But if you use a promotional link, you are going to get between 2 and 4 champions, typically months worth of progress, and there's no way to get these retroactively. So even if you have played already for a week or two and you start from scratch, you actually want to start a new account, start with a promo link, and really get going with Raid. And in this video, I'm going to take a look at all of the best links that you can use to start your Raid career. First, thank you Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video and for giving me this wonderful promo link that's going to give you the best possible start to your Raid career with Deacon Armstrong, Uugo, Tagoar and Mausoleum Mage. But hey, don't just take my word for it, because in this video we are going to examine multiple links. I'm going to show you what they give. And you can just see for yourself. You can also see the scores from tier lists from Hell Hades and from Ayumilove, which are the two main Raid Shadow Legends websites, and you can just see for yourself which one of these is going to be the right for you. But obviously I prefer my own link, so my link gives you Deacon Armstrong after the tutorial. Deacon Armstrong, a wonderful support epic that just manipulates the turn meter, makes your team go so much faster, acts as a speed lead for your team. So everything just happens faster. You're going to attack so much more, and attacking more means more damage. Just a tremendously good character that's going to serve you from the very first moments until the very late game. And then at level 15, you're going to get Uugo. So all of these links work so that you get one character at the end of the tutorial, and then you're going to get more as you gain some levels. And the next one you get from my link is Uugo. Uugo is a wonderful support, wonderful healer, also tremendously good at Hydra. Many people have multiple copies of Uugo, even in their late game Hydra teams. So just a phenomenal character, that one too. Third one is Tagoar, a spectacular healer, also with mass revive, so he can resurrect your entire team at once. He has been carrying my account so hard. A tremendously good healer for the early game, just going to keep everyone alive and healthy and just allow you to keep dealing damage. And then there's Mausoleum Mage, so a cleanser, another support character, just also tremendously good, maybe a little bit underrated at Ayumilove, even considering that they only gave him a B tier. But this is like the complete support package. You have all the support that you need in this pack, and it's just going to help your account so much. Because if we think about my old account, for example, my old account's biggest problem right now, it was started when there were no links like this, is that I have very little support characters. I have DPS, but I don't have support, so I can't keep my team healthy, I can't keep my team debuffed, I can't keep my team alive as well, and this package makes sure that you will never have a problem with that. But what about the other alternatives? You can find sources of all of these down below in the description, links to the videos where I picked these up from. So Boilon has this kind of link, where you get Karato after the tutorial, then you get Uugo, Tagoar and Deacon Armstrong. So you get 3 of the same characters, you get Deacon very late instead of getting it early, and you get Karato, who is a DPS character and not a support. So you're trading Mausoleum Mage for Karato. The thing is that Karato is not a campaign farmer. Karato is not really the kind of DPS that you would use very much early on. Also, Karato comes from a synergy pair with Yumeko being the stronger one of the two, and you don't get Yumeko here, of course. So that leaves a little bit lacking, although it does give you some DPS, but that DPS doesn't really help you early on in the campaign. So you'd still be using your starter pick, most likely Kale, as your campaign farmer if you went with this one. And third, Gameleap Cob's old link. This is the link that is currently pinned in the Raid community Discord, but I don't think it is the best one, even though some people there say it is, because this one gives you Elenaril, Uugo, Tagoar and Rector Drath. So it trades away Deacon and Mausoleum Mage, and loss of Deacon is a big one. Mausoleum Mage a little bit less so, but it's still very strong support. And you get Elenaril and you get Rector Drath. Well, Rector Drath is a fantastic support, as it happens. However, there's also the thing that Rector Drath is available from the paid Apprentice Pass. So if you pay the cheap pass at the start of the game, the Apprentice Pass, you're going to get Rector Drath anyway. And I think that's a really big minus for this link, because you don't really need 2 copies of Rector Drath that early on. And then also Elenaril. Elenaril is kind of mediocre. I have Elenaril, it's kind of a mediocre DPS. What Elenaril does bring is HP burn. But in order to get that to be very consistent, then you would need to book Elnaril. Elnaril is a legendary, so it's very hard to get those books. And you kind of don't want to book Elnaril. It's just not that sort of a legendary. And also Elnaril isn't very good in the campaign either. So while she is a DPS that has some uses, then those uses are kind of niche. And that's something that I don't really like about this link. At number 4, we have Volkin's link, and this is actually a pretty interesting one, because this gives you Vergis, Anax, Tagoar, and Deacon. So Deacon, well, Deacon is great, so it's good to have that. Tagoar is such a wonderful healer, especially early on, so you really, really want Tagoar on your account's first weeks. That is going to help you so much. So it has that covered. It loses Uugo, and Uugo would be so good for Hydra, so that loss is pretty painful. Also loses Mausoleum Mage. Mausoleum Mage, okay, I guess that's tolerable loss. And what it gains Vergis and it gains Anax. So Vergis is this kind of ally protection style hero, really hard to kill, has some protective abilities. I kind of like Vergis. I think Vergis is quite good. But also Vergis doesn't really have that kind of use where you absolutely have to have exactly Vergis. And then it gives you Anax. Anax is a DPS. Anax specializes in killing bosses. So Anax is an anti-boss DPS. Doesn't help you with the campaign, but obviously you can use Kale. Your starter champion, if you pick Kale, you can use that one to farm campaign. Anax can help you with the bosses. So this one has some upsides going for it, but the loss of especially Uugo is a huge one. Coming in at number 5, we have a link from TristenWulf that gives you Karato, Tagoar, Uugo, and Lady Annabelle. So okay, now we get Tagoar. That's really important. I think you really, really want Tagoar because that just helps you so much in the early game, keeping your team alive. Uugo, so we have that Hydra side covered, but we're losing Deacon, and that is the real thing that hurts. Okay, Karato, fine DPS. Lady Annabelle, pretty interesting choice. Doesn't get very high ratings on Hell Hades or Naomi Love, but Lady Annabelle does have some interesting applications where she is able to solo some of the bosses. So there are some sweet things going on with her, but overall you are giving up quite a lot. And at number 6, we have Gameleap Cob's current link, which gives you Basileos Ruanas, Uugo, Tagoar, and Mausoleum Mage. So this is just a straightforward trade for Deacon for Ruanas. Ruanas is an okay DPS, but nothing special at all, and you're trading away Deacon, so I think this just doesn't have anything really going for it. And one more from Zerobrew, Karato, Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage. The big problem with this one is that you give up on Tagoar, and Tagoar would be so super useful early on in order to get you through the campaign and everything. You do have that Anax for that boss DPS, Karato kind of okay DPS, you have that Uugo, which is great, but you're also giving up on Deacon, so yeah, this one is starting to give up a little bit too much. And obviously there's a lot more promotional links, but as you can see, the quality is decreasing as we go through the list. So the ones that were worse than this, I didn't bother listing those at all. And no matter which promo link you choose to use, you can always also use a new player promo code, and you have to do that within 72 hours of account creation. And I would have recommended Tolin, the Demon Slayer code, but that expired at the start of September, so just recently. And currently the best ones that are available, there's DESERTQUEEN for Tuhanarak, another splendid support of Void Legendary. There's MONKEYKING from Sun Wukong. So Sun Wukong is mostly DPS for Arena, for PvP, but can also do some things in the campaign. And there's Alice, another DPS, a little bit more available also for the PvE side of the game, but also good PvP one. And then maybe Leminisi, Goldwing, this sort of hybrid debuffer DPS. But she was available very recently as a chase, so you just got it from logging in, and then you also got a soul for her, which enhanced her abilities, and now you don't get that with the code, so the code version is going to be a fair bit weaker. So Tuhanarak, Sun Wukong, Alice are a little bit ahead of that, and there are a lot of other new player codes. There are around 20, but the rest are even worse. So that's the current state of promo links for Raid Shadow Legends, and the one that I recommend the most is my own link here with Deacon Armstrong, Uugo, Tagoar, and Mausoleum Mage. But you can see all the comparisons between the various other top alternatives in this video to make up your own mind. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members, and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.